They say you can't run away from yourself. But I decided to give it a try. I packed my suitcase, left behind a bustling city, an unloved job, and a relationship that had faded like an old photograph. I had 2 weeks by the sea ahead of me. 2 weeks of silence, sunshine, and salty spray on my skin. I wasn't looking for adventure. I was searching for myself. My hotel was small and cozy, with a terrace filled with flowers. On my first evening, I went down to the beach. The sunset was painting the sky in shades of pink and orange. I sat on the sand, letting the waves lap against my legs. Suddenly, someone sat down next to me. He didn't say a word. He just breathed in unison with the sea. I looked at him out of the corner of my eye. His profile was perfect for drawing. His strong arms were wrapped around his knees. And his eyes. They were the color of a stormy sky before rain. He said, "It's beautiful, isn't it?" I just nodded, afraid my voice would falter. We sat like that for what seemed like forever. They talked about everything and nothing, books, music, and the funny sound of seagulls. His name was Andre. And from that evening on, my silence found his voice. Our days became like one continuous dream. We had breakfast in small cafes that smelled of fresh pastries and coffee. We walked through narrow streets holding hands. He showed me hidden coves with crystal clear waters where there was not a soul in sight. He taught me how to dive off a cliff once. I was afraid, but his confident look said, "I'll catch it." And I jumped. A second of flight and the cool embrace of water. And then his hands, pulling me to the surface. At that moment, there was nothing between our wet bodies but the sun and our pounding hearts. We lay on the hot rocks, and he ran his fingertips over my back, wiping away the salty drops. His touch was light, like the breath of the wind, but it sent shivers down my skin and ignited a fire within me. In the evening, we returned to my room. Salty hair, skin that smelled of sun and sea. He turned on soft music and opened a bottle of wine. We didn't turn on the lights. Only the moonlight on the water outside the window and the flickering candle on the table. He came up behind me and wrapped his arms around me. His hot breath touched my neck. He slowly unraveled my hair, running his fingers through the strands. He whispered in my ear, "You smell like summer." I closed my eyes, surrendering to the moment. His hands slid from my shoulders, unbuttoning the thin straps of my sundress. The fabric fell to my feet, leaving only the coolness of the night breeze and the warmth of his hands on my skin. He turned me around. In the dim light, his eyes seemed bottomless. The kiss was gentle, awakening, promising. He picked me up in his arms and carried me to the bed. There were no words that night. Only whispers, breath, touches and the sound of the sea outside the window, which became the soundtrack of our closeness. We met the dawn on the balcony, wrapped in a single sheet. The world was waking up, and with it, reality was waking up. My vacation was coming to an end. We both knew the rules of this game. A vacation romance doesn't live in the big city. It stays here, in the sound of the waves and the scent of the cypresses. Our parting was on the same beach where we met. No tears, no promises. Just a long look and a light kiss, salty from the sea and from unshed tears. He said, "Thank you for this summer." I replied, "Thank you." I returned to my city. To my life. But something had changed. I was no longer running away from myself. That brief affair didn't break my heart. Instead, it seemed to have reassembled it. It remained in my memory like the scent of a southern night, the taste of wine on my lips, and the warmth of his hands on my skin. Sometimes, when I close my eyes, I can still feel the salty spray on my eyelashes and hear his whisper in the sound of the wind. It wasn't just an adventure. It was a breath of freedom. And that memory is now forever mine.